Hello everybody, it's the whole universe of the fine number, rational who brings value to my own experience. And today we're going to talk about the physics and also classifications and accelerations and things of the mass factions. And factions, it is like facts, yes. And maybe you are not fully into this topic. I'm not too, like fully, I'm not a master of it and not the scientist, but actually I'm going to this field and I want to talk about it because the more we speak about it, the more we understand it actually, and it is how my mind works. Sometimes you maybe see the world, it is at least how my mind works. When I speak about something, then I have a better knowledge about it. It is kind of, you are going to make your memory stronger about this topic, or at least you have more cognitive pictures inside of your mind, you have more associations, and the more associations you have, the better your learning process and the more you kind of focusing on something. The same with children. The more they repeat words, the more they know the words. And with the language the same. The more you repeat new words, the more you know them and you can reproduce them better. It is the same logic. I think it works too, and I want to talk about the acceleration, masses, gravity, physics, also about the colors, about density and atoms and things of this nature. As we talked yesterday and as I talked today on my Russian channel, we talked about the coordinates of things in our world. For example, I'm walking right now, and if we are imagining that we are 3D models, like I'm 3D model, you are 3D model who is watching, then we are going on x and y dimensions, like to the left for x, to the forward, like left right will be for x, and forward and back will be with z. And also jumping, sometimes we can jump and we can go like higher on y or a y. Yes, it is what we talked yesterday. And also we can imagine that we are 2D and you are actually watching the video on 2D and you have the resolution of your screen display, and this resolution is maybe 900 to 1600, or maybe 1920 to maybe 20 to 1080. I think so. I'm sorry if I not super into this topic, like I'm not speak super confident, but by speaking it I will be more confident, I think so. And it is how our resolution of the things work. Also the same with the camera, for example Nikon, Sony, Canon, also other Olympic and other things, maybe Zenit from Russia. We have, by the way, this photo industry product, Zenit. It is what we have, like object of photo shooting, photo apparatus. And yes, and what I want to say, I wanted to speak only about the math and what's the point. I wanted kind of to make my knowledge better, and maybe if you are not into this topic, then you will see the views of Russian city, and also you will have more patterns of it too, and maybe you will comment something that I maybe not right fully, and I maybe write only particularly, like a small portion of it, or maybe big portion of it. And we said big portion and small portion. How do we determine big and small portion? By the number of objects. By the number of objects, and objects, they are points. If we say the huge screen, it means that we have a lot of points on it, a lot of objects of pixels. If we say about the small portion of pixels, then it is kind of small screen we have, and we describe it. And this is an array, for example, array of these pixels and objects that we have on displays. And some people are walking on the background. I will be faster. One moment, I need to go faster because they speak here and they maybe will say not really good words to me. Yes, and we can make them kind of group. We can group and gather objects together. And by speaking it, we can say that it is huge portion or small portion. And also we have medium, and also we have large, and large it is kind of amazingly huge and maybe amazingly big and like huge quantity. And actually we describe things by their quantity, maybe, and by actually what it gives in quantity of something. Majority of people of our world, they count in money. For example, they count their hours of work in money. They count maybe output in money, because it is easy to them to imagine what they get. They get it in some money. Yes, it is easy to them. Some people sometimes count their profits in a time of like time learning. Sometimes I upload videos how many minutes, how many hours I was doing something. We count it in time. Actually, indeed, we don't have a time, like in a meaning of like imagining things. Like we don't have time here. We don't see this. Yes, we have a timeline and things of this nature, but actually we live in the world that we don't have time, but we have the... What's the first clocks? The first clocks were on sand, and maybe even earlier we had something else, but I know that my first imagination with it was with the sand. And first clocks were on the sand, and we could see the sun. It is showing the time, and it is kind of going to the shadow showing us what's the portion of the shadow. It shows the time for you. Like for example, it is 8 o'clock, and we have the portion of maybe 20 points of shadow. 20 points of shadow, it is the specific angle, specific like portion, and it will be maybe 20 centimeters of shadow. It is the, for example, 8 o'clock. Yes, and also we have specific changing of this, and the speed, how it is changing, and what time it's going. Like we can count in the meaning of like how we pronounce them, like 1, 2, 3, 4, and changing. I don't know how our time was created, how our clocks were created, but in the meaning of time we don't have something that shows time from the nature. We have it in the form of our sun that is going, but in a meaning, because in our world, in our planet, not if we consider that world as a planet, on our planet we have specific time, like 23 hours 56 minutes and something, and yes, it is this time, maybe 23 and plus some numbers, and also we have the years of and another time. That's why we have changing of time, and also, and or maybe not, I don't know. I don't actually know. You can Google it. It will be more productive, I think so. And also we have the Mars, and they have a bigger time. Mars as a planet, Mars planet, and it is going to the more range, more radius. It is a bigger radius from the sun, and it is going to 1 minute. Car is going. Cars are going there. They are so like hugely with sound waves, and we have the Mars that is going on a higher range, on a larger range, and we have Earth, and time on Mars is bigger than on Earth. Like not a time, but period of time that it is the day. The day on Mars, it is bigger than on our Earth. You know. Maybe didn't know. And also, who is like Mercury and Venus, they have the smaller radius. It means they have the smaller portion of time for a day. They are going faster, and it is how it works. I have not been on Mars, and I haven't been on Venus, and I can't prove it, but actually the science and the view from the telescope says us these facts. And like Galileo Galilei said us this, and people who were watching the astronoms, and some research. They said us this information. I have not been on Mars, and I cannot say that it is true or not. Maybe not true, really, because we haven't been. But we believe in science, that it is maybe true. And also, what should I say? I should say also that we have objects in our life, and they have density. For example, the leaves, they have maybe density not so huge than the density of a stone. What's the density? It is the direction between objects. And maybe our world is created by the directions and maybe meters and directions. Our world is the direction, maybe. Like direction between objects. Everything is directions, and we determine things by directions between them. For example, I'm here, another here, and also the bushes are here. We can determine it. Directions between objects we can determine. It is the way. It is only theory, guys. No need to believe like it is so 100% true. But it seems like true, like one of the hypotheses that everything can be measured by the directions between us or the small portions of us. For example, directions between my eyes, or direction between the nose and the mouth, or direction between my ear and my nose, and also between my belly button and also my nose. Direction between them, and also directions between the nose measure here, and maybe small portions inside of my body in a way of like the atoms or something like this inside of our bodies. And also have directions of the people behind us, yes, directions between us. And color. What determines color? Maybe color is direction too. How much of the direction between some points? Maybe. At least it seems like a little bit of logic. Like the specific, it is on a small level, hugely small level, like super mega small level between things. For example, red color, it is the direction, direction or the range, we can call it radius, diameter, the distance, guys. Distance between the small portions, maybe they are strings or maybe atoms or maybe smaller than atoms. It determines black color. Something determines also red color. Something determines this type of color. Maybe. And everything could be determined by the direction. Maybe. We don't know. But actually what science says to us, because we don't know how our world works. We don't know how it's created fully. We don't know who we are fully, like who created us, like programmer, or we are inside of the matrix, or maybe we are inside of the simulated reality, or maybe God created us, or maybe another God created us, because we have different types of religions, different types of guesses and predictions and beliefs. We can call it will be better to call it beliefs, because it is kind of better way. Religious beliefs and things of this nature. I will not talk about it to not be like super controversial, yes? So, one moment, I will cross the street, I will cross the direction, I mean the distance to another point, and we are here. And what we learned, also the science says us facts about the colors that we have specific pigments. But pigments, what is it actually? Pigments, maybe it is the distance between things. What makes the pigment so? If we look at atoms, why do we have leaves? Why do we have it? And density. What's the density? Density, it is the look, we have density, but also guys, we have weight. What is weight? Weight, it is the specific. I'm not super into physics, like super into. I can understand that 5 kilograms, just 3 kilograms. And weight, it is, what's the weight? Like in super inner place, like on atoms and smaller parts, like super small parts. What makes it so huge? Maybe the density. Density we call the directions between atoms. They are so small. Why our things like gases, they are so transparent, and also why are they so why are they so transparent? Because but also, guys, we have the atmosphere. How do we breathe? I don't know how to describe. So many questions I want to ask to them. Maybe I will rewatch this video and I will answer to them at my home. Please, guys, don't believe me fully, like hugely. I mean that, yes, believe in me, but actually my words need to check them on internet. If you can, let me know in the comment section below. It will be good if you will write the right question, maybe right questions, right words on science and how our world is built. We have mass, we have volume, we have distance, we have speed, velocity and speed, it's the same, I think so. And acceleration. Also we have integrals and differentiation things, equations, but it's random words maybe for you. And one girl is dancing by the function of dancing. I mean, what is the dancing? Dancing is movement of parts of our body, and with specific range of time. If time is like a distance, then she does it moving. But oh Jesus, so no, time is time right now. Right now we'll think about time that it is actually time, not an illusion, because in a way of illusion, it is not super easy right now to think, because it is abstract thinking. But I want to count time not in a measure of points, but we live actually. Time is going. Time is going. Yes, maybe time it is the distance. Time is a distance. Is time a distance? For example, we have the huge thing, and it's going like smaller. Maybe. Or maybe it is a counter, but how counter actually works, how it measures that 1 second went out, like it is gone. 1 second disappeared. For example, I do, and it is 1 second. I do, it is 1.7 seconds. How it measures? A really interesting question. If we live in the real world, okay, back to Earth, guys. In reality, in real world, if we will think like we are real, yes, and time is real, everything is fine. Time is numbers, okay. But actually, what's inside of the time? And what's inside of the world? And what's inside of the distances and the measurements, density? What's inside of the density? What's inside of the pigments that make things colorful? Because on the program, it is actually the energy. Like on the computer. Computer is made by transistors. We have transistors inside of our computers, and they have an energy that are provides to them. And by the number of energy, or maybe that the number of energy that provided to the transistor, it determines it is on or off. On or off determines 1 or 0 in our own thinking. Like energy goes, okay, it is 1. Energy doesn't go, it is 0. And then it goes some of the logic, like 1 0 0 1, what it gives, and what gives 1, 0, 0, and what gives 1, 0, 0, 1, and what gives 0, 0, 1, 1, and what gives another particles. And it's all the combinations and permutations of our world. And words work the same way, like in our languages. We can say the cat runs and also the dog runs. Actually, runs, it is a word. It is a word that that could be described as 0, for example. And the dog and the cat, they could be described as 1 and also second. I mean, that not second, like 2. And it means the dog runs will be, if dog is 1, then it will be 1, 0. And the cat runs will be 2, 0. And it means that the sentence is created this way. And if you want to create runs the dog, then it will be 0, 1. And runs the cat, it will be 0, 2. Actually, we don't speak this way because we speak in the norms of traditions that we are gathered in our world, but we can communicate this way. We could not say no, will not communicate this way. Yes, we will not, because it is not super useful, because all norms and all things right now accepted that we want to communicate with people, then we should communicate this way. It will be better, yes. Like it brings more value. People will, but also you can consider this way to your maybe artistic or maybe scientific purposes. That is permutation of things. Okay, the dog runs and the cat runs. It is our final point. It is the right, correct form, guys. And it is how our things work, and the same in the computer. It provides the same in Russian language. You can say "собака бежит." "Собака бежит" means the dog runs, and also "кот бежит", it is the cat runs. It is like translation, and it is translation to their language, encoding, decoding. So, one moment, I will go faster because some people are here, and they look like gopniks. I mean, not like super gopniks, but they look like people who are from the province city. And you can think, okay, they are good, they are nice and amazing. Look at them at the ground. Okay, see you next time, guys. Improve still daily, go forward. You know that everything depends only on you, and learn more about the world. I am so glad that I talked with you today. Improve still daily, guys. It matters a lot to improve. And go to physics, go to science, go to things of our nature, and you will improve it. Your understanding. Read new books, read about science, do science things, plan things, learn programming. Think abstractly sometimes not abstractly. In the meaning of like you can improve your mind, but actually be kind to people, share love, and hug them. Yes, this is so important. See you next time. Improve still daily. Bye bye. You are a cool guy or girl. Bye.